Okay, Broncos country, looks like we are live, but you guys know the drill by now. We've got to let the stream breathe for just a second and make sure that everything is nice and stable all across the YouTube platform. Welcome in, Broncos country, to this Denver Broncos Syndicate live stream as we have some breaking news coming out of the Mile High City. The Denver Broncos have extended another player. Before we reveal who that player is, we're going to go ahead and let some people start streaming on in here. While we do that, be sure to leave a like on the stream as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it. They are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. Additionally, if you want to go above and beyond in supporting the channel, please consider becoming a channel member today. I would really appreciate it. The link is in the description below if you want some extra perks and incentives in exchange for helping me out and helping the channel grow. All right, guys, let's go ahead and bring in the big news that just came down a few minutes ago. According to Broncos insider Mike Kliss, per source, the Broncos have reached a 4-year extension with center Luke Wattenberg. As of this second, the financial terms of the deal have not been disclosed. But 4-year extension for a player who we've made multiple videos on this channel saying we probably ought to replace this player. I don't know if this is the right move for the Denver Broncos. I understand that they want to keep continuity on the offensive line. I get it. But Luke Wattenberg has been the clear and obvious weak link on that offensive line for the last 2 seasons. He's a good pass protection center, but his shortcomings in the run blocking are really hard to ignore. He gets blown up off the ball way too often and ends up getting pushed in the backfield. It's really rough to watch. Additionally, his snapping is an issue, and you need to be able to snap the ball well if you're going to play center at the NFL level. He snaps high, he snaps low, and because his snaps aren't always on target, it can lead to issues where the play timing gets thrown off, and sometimes Bo can't get to that extra progression in the read because he's got to field a crappy snap from Luke Wattenberg. This is not the move that I would have made. I'm going to have to see the finances, especially the guaranteed money and the average annual value. But, I'm not going to lie, man, the Denver Broncos may have made their first big mistake in terms of making a move like this. We'll see, man. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I get proven wrong with time. I'm going to keep checking here and make sure the financial terms have not come out. Okay, they just came out right now. According to Tom Pelissero, it's a 4-year, $48 million extension, so that's an average annual value of $12 million, including $27 million guaranteed. It's a lot of freaking money, man. Let's go ahead and bring in the NFL's highest paid centers. Bear with me here, Broncos country. All right, let's go ahead and bring in this tab here, courtesy of Spot Track. In terms of average annual value, we've got Creed Humphrey. He's the highest paid center at $18 million. You've got Elton Jenkins of the Green Bay Packers at $17 million. Cam Jurgens of the Eagles at $17 million. Drew Dahlman of the Bears at $14 million. You've got Lloyd Cushenberry, our old friend now with Tennessee, making $12.5 million. And you've got Eric McCoy here who's making $12 million. So he's going to be tied with Eric McCoy. Oh, man, I am not a fan of that at all. I think that's way too much money for a player who, in my opinion, holds back the offense. This is not the move I would have made. It's tough to doubt a lot of the moves that the Denver Broncos have made. It really is. Oh, this is cool, though. This is cool. Tom Pelissero tweeted out a clip from my guy Frankie Abbott, a.k.a. Frankie's Film, from Let's Talk Broncos. That's actually really friggin' sick, Frankie. But regardless, man, I really don't like what Luke Wattenberg brings to the table. He gets blown up off the ball. His snapping's an issue. I understand wanting to keep the continuity. I understand wanting to keep the rapport with Bo Nix, but I would not have done it. Maybe they thought it was better to pay a cheaper center and use the money elsewhere. Well, I don't know, man. He's still within the top 10 of highest paid centers in the NFL. That's still a really large chunk of change. And for me, at least, that's pretty tough to swallow. I would have invested this money in other positions. I would have rather brought back John Franklin Myers. I would have rather invested this into Malcolm Roach. Apparently, the Broncos are still looking to extend Malcolm Roach, but ugh, God, man, I'm trying to put a positive spin on it, but there's not really a positive spin I can put on this one. I strongly disagree with this move. Maverick agrees. He says, I don't know about this one. We got Rodney in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are doing well. Let me know, Broncos country. How do you feel about this? Let's get a pulse on this in the chat. We're going to stay live here on this stream for about 10 more minutes, and then we're going to move over to the MHRT Network YouTube channel, the 5280 podcast, where I am a co-host every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So, again, we're going to keep going here for a few minutes, and then we'll move over there to that stream. Well, it's out of our control. That's all I can say. Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Maverick. This is not the move that I would have made. I'll pay you to play center. Oh, I'd do a worse job than Wattenberg. I can tell you that. Is there a link for that? Yes, there is. I will go ahead and grab said link. Just bear with me here and give me about 35 seconds. And I can go ahead and grab that. Blah, 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 blah. Again, they'll be going live in just a few minutes. I told them that I would be late to the stream. There we go. There is the link in the chat right there to the other podcast. So again, once we wrap things up over here, we will move things over to that other one. But I want to know your thoughts on this, Broncos country. Do you think this was the right move for the Denver Broncos? Do you agree with me? Do you believe that this is going to hold back the team? Or do you believe that this is a positive move for the Denver Broncos? I seen it on Instagram from Zach Stevens. Yeah, this just came out, so I'm assuming all the Broncos reporters are pumping out their content, making their tweets, doing whatever they need to do. But we like to get on it first here on Broncos Syndicate. As soon as the news comes out, we get it here on the stream, and we get it out to you guys. Maverick says, I'm grading this a C-. I might even go lower than that. I might give this a D because I feel like you could have invested into this position in the draft, in free agency, or possibly through a trade, and you could have gotten a much better player for probably about as much money as you're paying Luke Wattenberg right now. The Broncos like to draft and develop. They like to keep their homegrown guys in the building. This is yet another extension that the Denver Broncos have pulled off. And bringing this in here, they've extended Quinn Miners, Pat Surtain, Jonathan Cooper, DJ Jones, Garrett Bowles, Cortland Sutton, Zach Allen, Nick Bonito, Will Lutz, most recently before this one. But I don't know, man. Trying to maintain continuity is one thing, but when you're sacrificing, in my opinion, on the offensive line just to maintain continuity, I don't think it's a net positive. So Rodney asked, what's my honest thought? I don't like this move. I don't like this move whatsoever. So now we have a money tree as an O-line. And I can respect it because the Denver Broncos are investing into that position. The question is, was Luke Wattenberg the right player to make a long-term investment in? I don't know. Wet the whistle there. Julian says, unfortunately, I haven't been able to watch more than 2 to 3 games this year. You've been paying a lot closer attention than I can. I'll trust your take on it, dependent on actually. Look, man, I don't like this move, but the Broncos know a lot more football than I do. Sean Payton, George Payton, they've forgotten more football than I will ever know in my lifetime. They clearly feel like this is a good move. I've got no choice but to trust them. They haven't led us astray that many times so far. They have led us astray a couple of times, but not too many. I don't like this move, but there's been a couple of other moves that the Denver Broncos have made that I've disagreed with that have ultimately been the right move for the team, and I was wrong. So hopefully this is another one of those case scenarios. I still feel like we need to build depth on the offensive line. I agree, especially in the draft. They need to draft multiple offensive linemen this year because you've got some aging tackles. You've got a left guard who's injury prone, and you might be moving on from him soon. So, yeah, the Denver Broncos, I agree, are going to need to invest in their offensive line. We got Roan in the house. Good to see you. Rodney says, so what does that mean for Forsyth? I mean, as of right now, I'd say Forsyth is still your backup center, but I don't think he ever truly had a chance of being a starter. He was a 7th-round draft pick. Anytime you've got a 7th-round pick, it's basically a lottery ticket, and he never developed, never materialized into much. He's a solid backup, but I wouldn't say he's anything more than that for this team. Is the team's biggest flaw actually roster building, signings, trades? I think that their biggest flaw is probably their construction of their interior offensive line with Ben Powers and Luke Wattenberg. And yeah, I'd say this is definitely a flaw for this team. Like I said, man, this is not the move that I would have made. I would have allocated these financial resources elsewhere. And as of right now, there are no indications that the Denver Broncos are going to extend John Franklin Myers. I said this earlier today. I feel like the offense losing Luke Wattenberg would be a lot less devastating than the defense losing John Franklin Myers. John Franklin Myers does so much up front. He helps eat double teams. He makes life easier for Zach Allen as well as the edge rushers. So that's a player that I would have prioritized extending. They've got Savion Jones on the roster who they are hoping can eventually replace John Franklin Myers, but still, man, I would have signed JFM before extending a guy like Luke Wattenberg, who, like I said, is actively holding back this offense. If only we had Nick Gargiulo. Yeah, that kind of threw a monkey wrench into things in terms of their plans building the interior offensive line. Gargiulo, he played really well in training camp and in the preseason. Unfortunately, suffered that season-ending injury, I believe, in the Cardinals game. So, yeah, that was just really unfortunate, and hopefully he's able to bounce back. Rodney says, I heard Brandon Cooks signed with the Bills. Yes, he did. We talked about that in the stream earlier. I don't believe that the Denver Broncos were ever going to be interested in Cooks, and a report came out saying they weren't in on him. Benjamin Albright confirmed my suspicions. The relationship between Sean Payton and Brandon Cooks is not good after Sean Payton decided to trade Cooks away back in 2017. So, yeah, I don't believe anything would have happened there. Coach Payton says he really likes what he has. I'm starting to really trust him now. And I've got no choice but to trust him either, quite frankly, because he hasn't led us astray too many times for this point. If they feel like Luke Wattenberg is their best option at center long-term, then I have to trust him. But I still can sit here and question the move at the end of the day. Sorry about that, Broncos country. Yeah, I would have invested in extending Roach and McMillan. I still imagine they will extend Roach. And then as far as Jaquan's concerned, he's probably going to end up getting a tender as a restricted free agent. They have a lot more flexibility in terms of the ways that they can bring him back. So, yeah, I think that with Jaquan McMillan, it's probably gonna be that path for him. All right, Maverick, we will see you later, my friend. If the playoffs started today, do you think we can beat the Buffalo Bills at home? Yes. I said this in the previous stream earlier today. I don't think there's a team outside of maybe the Baltimore Ravens that I'm scared of in the AFC. There really is no team out there that's better than the Denver Broncos right now. The Denver Broncos are playing some high-end football. The Chiefs don't scare me. The Bills have shown signs of flaws, and pretty much every other team in the AFC has shown signs of flaws. This really is kind of feeling like the Denver Broncos year. Like the main Gage, thanks for the updates. You're the best, bro. Keep it up. Thank you so much, my friend. Really, really appreciate it. All right, guys. Now is the time that we're going to move over to the other podcast. It's going to get started at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's over on the MHRT Network YouTube channel. If you guys don't know, I do co-host a podcast with 3 other Broncos fans every single Tuesday, 7 p.m. I just put the link in the description below. I'm going to be heading over there, and we're going to be going live in a couple minutes. So if you guys want to follow me over there, that would be awesome. Meanwhile, be sure to leave a like on this stream as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It tells YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. Additionally, if you want to go above and beyond in supporting the channel, please consider becoming a channel member today. The link is in the description below if you want some extra perks and incentives in exchange for helping me out, helping the channel grow, and helping improve the production quality of this content. All right, guys, I will see you over on the other podcast. And until then, I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.